Fine. Today, my name is Gideon Thande. I'm here to represent Sprint Interactive. I'll give a brief background about Sprint Interactive. We are a local-based company. Here we tend to think of ourselves as a group of storytellers, strategists, who are passionate about technology, creativity, and we love to, what I say, design and visualize stuff. What we do is we have different arms in our company where we have digital marketing. This includes also social media, Twitter, the Facebook, the Pinterest, branding, web development, infographics, and data visualization. Today I'll be concentrating on data visualization. What makes us stand out is we distinguish between what is good and what is great, and I'm sure you will see by the end of this presentation what I mean. I'll explain to you what information visualization is to Sprint Interactive, the benefit of it, the types of visualizations, and I'll follow through with some of the conclusions. So, what is data visualization? In Wikipedia, data visualization is using graphics to fit a certain schema, but that's a bit technical. So also this is a technical definition here, connection of data sets to visualize interface in order to facilitate exploration and understanding. What basically it means is that we use different graphics, information gathered, put them into graphical format, and we're able to display them in a format that flows and tells the same story. So if you think pictures are worth 1,000 words, then a data visualization should be a really fat novel. Why visualize data? One thing that I've learned today throughout this workshop is that everyone is collecting data through the Ushaidis, through the spatial maps that you just presented here, through the different social media platforms. Why we need to present data is, why we visualize data is because this data is essential to our growth, maybe advocacy of different things, maybe in policy making and all. Visualization of data is essential that if we have so many people investing in research, but how does this research come? It comes in Excel sheets. It comes in fat PDFs that are over 50 pages long text, long boring text that no one really reads. So what we do here at Sprint Interactive, we take this, put it in a way that is interactive, because the data matters to not only to the organization of researching all this, but also to the citizen on the ground. The citizen on the ground needs to know this because it enhances accountability, transparency, and can increase collaboration between partner organizations. Policy decisions can also be made by helping now, if you share the data using now the different types of infographics that I will later explain on, you can be able to include the common wananchi, what we call in Kenya the wanjiko, so that they are able to influence policies down from the grassroots level all the way to the top. So increased distribution of your data accelerates pace of change. That statement, I think, should be self-explanatory. If you have, let's say you have your findings in, for example, in Korogosho, as we've just seen, what can other organizations do to help the Korogosho situation now? Instead of distributing a PDF that has 30 pages long, we can have this in different formats. Creating an impact with research and analysis data. How do we do this? We can tell a good story. A good story meaning from the data collected. How else does it impact the guy on the ground? Not the CSOs and the CBOs are good at collecting data, but how else can you do, what else apart from collecting data can you do with these reports that you have? You should be able to tell it in a different story, and this is through infographics. You should be able to also create interaction. Interaction meaning that if I have an infographic, I can share it via email, via blog, via social media, and this encourages people to share things online and distribute it widely. Which brings me to the next point, distribute openly. Don't keep the research to yourself. Once it is in an infographic format, giving people or distributing it is much easier because it's simpler, and I'll explain later on why using an infographic should be the in thing now, actually, for all the CSOs and different organizations. Now then, benefits of visualization. We'll start with knowledge. Through visualizations, reports gain more meaning and bring more knowledge. If I have a 30-page PDF or an Excel sheet that has probably 300 columns, if I visualize it properly and give it a good story, a good storyline, I would have impacted as an organization. You have helped someone understand what you are doing. It shows clarity, information becomes transparent, relevant, and considerations are easily made. Meaning, if the research that I have I can make an infographic that is relevant to, let's say, the guy in Buruburu here in Nairobi. Buruburu, if I don't talk to him in his language, as Shujaz had mentioned here, that if you don't push a certain type of content, you give it a pull, and you line yourself with what they understand. It increases speed. As usual, if there's a 30-page document, I'll take less time reading an infographic rather than reading the 30-page document. Interest, it's visual communication is more accurate and catchy and has more impact to the user. That's self-explanatory. I do not have to read, if I set an infographic that is visually appealing, it sparks interest in people, especially on the social media, and it becoming viral is quite easy. Appeal, data becomes more important. It tells a story and communicates to the user in a new way. Shareability, people love sharing data that is visually compelling and easy to digest over forms such as written word. Types of visualization. One of them is an infographic. This is using different elements of graphics to display now a storyline that I was just explaining before. Here is one we did for the IEBC results, the Kangema constituency by-election. As you see, you have the registered voters, 10 words, constituencies, the types of the polling station, just a small write-up about what Kangema constituency and how it happened to have them by-election. So the next one was now how the nominated candidates were, the different political aspirants, and who was number 1 or down to number 6. This we received from the IEBC, from their website. It was basically a table format, nothing that could be appealing. But once we had this, we were able to put it in such a way that people can share it online, people can distribute it, and it is easier and it's faster to understand rather than the table formats that were presented. Here's another one. This was done by Kipra. This is research on how the transportation challenges we have in Nairobi. You would see that the key external influences, supply of transport, the influences, the demand for transport, the portion of person using the modes of transport. As you can see widely in Nairobi, we are 47% of us are walking, 7.3% of us have personal cars. Capitalization, private transport carries 22%, 64% of the private cars carry 22%, and that 78% of public transport carries 36%. Now, if this was distributed widely, people would understand and maybe influence and promote advocacy of change that in the transport system here we have. Here are some of the costs for poor system performance, like the pollution, the bribery, and the intersection, the cost of travel, road safety status, how the cyclists how their safety is affected, 14%, 43% had a problem. Now, interactive visualization. Any visualization anywhere can be dynamically filtered or explore data. I'll show you an example. Here is one for a country. This is now interactive visualization where done by Google, it has, I'm supposed to be finishing up. This is an interactive visualization where small arms and ammunitions were distributed around the world. Here you can see there's the red lines and the blue lines. The red lines represent export, and the blue lines represent import. You can click on, let's say, Kenya, for example. It's not clicking. Sorry. Here you can also take it back all the way to 2006, where you can filter out data and you know exactly when and where, how many people imported and exported small arms and ammunitions. The next one is data journalism. This is just literally giving a facelift to data that we have, that reports have. For example, we have one here for the Elections Observer Group. This is the report they had from May to August. We had different pie charts where the color code here, June, July, August, and September, was represented in a pie chart. They had, this was basically the normal PDF, boring report type of format, but we were able to make it look more attractive and appealing for everyone to read.